Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Harmony. Now, as we begin our adventure, you may notice some interesting things about the planet as you come through the veil of energy that keeps others from entering into this universe. Somehow the veil of energy let you slip through. Okay. The planet has two big continents, and the rest of it is mostly covered by water with a bunch of little islands out in the oceans, most close by to one continent, which is the one where the settlers have landed. There are 5 original settlements called city-states. You are now just outside of Frequency City at the spaceport. Now, when you enter the city, you see that it is a walled city because it is a city that was built upon the ancient ruins of the aliens that lived here thousands of years ago. And the wall itself is made of green quartz for the most part, which seems to be a prime building material for the aliens. Now, the green quartz exudes psi energy because you know quartz is one of those energy receptive stones. If you know anything about crystals, quartz is piezoelectric. That's the term for it, scientific terms. And they use it for all kinds of things in technology on Earth. Now, it doesn't matter if you came from Earth or from one of the realms in D&D or Palladium systems. All of the races that you can find in D&D and the Palladium systems are playable on Harmony. So decide what your character race is and what your character class is. Now, we'll go into Frequency City, and in the next video, I'll pull up the map that shows you what it looks like. It's a coastal city, and there are docks, and these docks are for the fishermen and for the ferries from Frequency City to Rain Shadow Island and several others. So here we go. There's a new addition to Frequency City. I have a good friend on TikTok who has a YouTube channel, Quincy LK. Y'all look him up. He is so good, and he does the most wonderful D&D related videos. But Quincy's Tavern pops up in our game. And it's here in Frequency City. And it's where you can get all the news about what's going on. And Quincy makes the most amazing meals for his hungry travelers. There is, in Frequency City, there are several guilds. We have the Ghost Hunters Guild, which is a primary guild all throughout all of Harmony. And I'll explain that one in more detail later. We have the Mages Guild. And they have a subsect called the Psi-Mages Guild. We have the Assassins Guild, the Thieves Guild, the Fighters Guild, There are, although the clerics don't specifically have guilds, there are a bunch of temples in the area for various different faiths. Although on Harmony, religion is not a really great big thing. The people are so busy just trying to survive, and we're like 200 years after colonization. And the first 200 years were pretty bad. So if sometime you want to go back to that time to role play, we can do that. But that was during the time we call the era of discord. And a man named Vincent Lee Vance tried to take over all the 5 city-states and rule it as his own personal kingdom. He was soundly defeated during that time. But you might want to be one of the people fighting against his little army. So we can visit that another time. But now, 200 years later, technology is beginning to come back. It's not as strong as it once was. So computers and things like that are not real common, but they're not outrageously expensive either. Your weapons are mostly limited to ancient weapons, except for if you happen to be in law enforcement or a member of the Ghost Hunters Guild, you have access to what is called res pistols and res rifles. And these are amber resonating weapons, and it takes a certain amount of psionic talent to even wield them. So there we go with that. As for clothing, the clothing that you are wearing as you come through the portal is perfectly acceptable, and you will find tailors and clothing shops in town to where you can get custom clothing made, either according to the style of the people of Harmony or to your traveler's adventure style that you want to wear. Now, the fashions in Harmony are much like the fashions of Earth in the 20th and 21st century. Women's skirts can be from several inches above the knee to ankle length. Pants are perfectly acceptable for women in a variety of styles, and a lot of women favor leather and leather jackets, and there are other kinds of there's not a lot of fur. It's just something that kind of carried over from Earth, the 21st century, where they had gotten away from fur and had started doing with fake fur. So you can't find a lot of real fur, but you can find fake fur garments that are affordable. You can find all kinds of hats, wigs, whatever. Probably on the next video, you may see me wearing one of my cosplay wigs, because you will be meeting my character, Doriana the Grey, who, if someone was around when I was playing a world called Solstice, and Dragon Slayer, there was a character who was an archivist named Doriana the Grey, and she was a mage of some great power and a priestess to her deity, who in this game remains nameless because of certain situations that I had to walk away from everything to do with her and her worlds. But Delriana was just too good a character in the novels and in my personal games to just walk away from. So she'll show up as an NPC, and she runs a herbalist shop, which also has a big archive section where people can look up things that they need to know about whatever situation they're going off into. So I guess that's it for now. The next video, I will show you the map for Frequency City. And remember that all the buildings in Frequency City are between 1 and 3 stories high. And they often have basements, levels of 1 to 2 levels, and have a hole. Some of them have a hole in the wall, which will lead down into the catacombs. And so we'll see you later. I hope you have a good week. I love you, my friends.